everyone, and welcome back. To week 4 of the 2013 NFL season. I went 2-2 with my picks last week. We're going to get right at it. Our first game we're going to look at is Seattle going to Houston, where the Texans are 3-point dogs at home. It's time to put up or shut up for Seattle and prove to the world that they can beat quality teams on the road. The Seahawks are a juggernaut right now. Houston's playing not so bad, but I just don't want to bet against Seattle. I think they are destined to go to the Super Bowl. It's a small price to pay. Lay the points. Take Seattle -3. Our second game has the New York Giants going to Kansas City. The Chiefs are 4-point favorites at home. This is a team with quarterbacks going in the opposite direction. Eli Manning for New York is leading the league in interceptions with 9. Meanwhile, Alex Smith for Kansas City, no picks, no fumbles. Also, Eli's been sacked 11 times, which is 4th most in the NFL. Bad news, Kansas City leads the league in sacking the opposite quarterback. I believe the Giants are last in sacking the opposing quarterback. It's a small price to pay. Lay the points. Take Kansas City -4. The third game we're going to look at has New England going to Atlanta, where the Falcons are 1.5-point dogs, are favorites at home. And this is going to be the first real test for New England. They played against 2 rookie quarterbacks and a third who's now been benched. The quality of the opposite quarterback goes really much higher right now with Matty Ice. And I just don't think New England has what it takes to be a quarterback of that caliber. Let's lay the points and take Hatbox Kids Atlanta Falcons -1.5. And the fourth game we're going to look at has Philadelphia going to Denver, where the Broncos are 10.5-point favorites at home. Philadelphia is coming off the Thursday game, where teams coming off the Thursday game are not only 4-0 against the spread, they're actually 4-0 straight up. Meanwhile, Denver played on Monday night, and teams coming off the Monday nighter are only 2-4 against the spread, 2-4 straight up. And one of those wins was when 2 of them played each other. It's a really short week for Denver and a long week for Philadelphia. I think they keep it close. So you know what? Let's take Philadelphia +10.5.
You are watching the godfather of prognostication videos, gioknows, and after you're done this video, come on over and check out the reigning prognosticator of the year's channel, Team Take'em, and check out our picks also. Thanks.
Okay, thanks a lot, Billy B. Make sure you check out all of his picks and his buddy Sean's at Team Take'em's YouTube channel. Billy B is the reigning gioknows prognosticator of the year. Here are my over-under picks. I went 1-3 last week as a couple of the teams left some points on the board. The first game we're going to look at is Chicago and Detroit. That number is 48. Last week, Reggie Bush didn't play for Detroit, and that's probably why they didn't go over the number. For Chicago, new coach Mark Crespin really has the Bears offense firing on all cylinders. You know, they're number 3 in points scored at 31.7 a game. Detroit is just a little bit behind. A lot of points are going to be scored in this game. You know what? Let's take over the 48. The second game we're going to look at has the New York Jets going to Tennessee. That number is low. It's 39. The Jets have the 7th best defense in terms of points allowed, and Tennessee is 10th best. I think both these teams will look to run the ball and use up a lot of the clock. I still like the under, so that's what we'll do. Let's take under 39. The third game, I talked about it earlier, is Philadelphia at Denver. That number is 57. It's very high, but you've got Philadelphia's fast-paced offense against Peyton Manning's great offense, plus Philadelphia's defense isn't that good. This number might hit triple digits, so let's take over 57. And the fourth game is the Monday nighter as Miami goes to New Orleans. That number is 47.5. I'm becoming a bit of a believer in Rob Ryan's work that he's doing as defensive coordinator. I thought it was smoke and mirrors, but New Orleans right now is the 5th best in points allowed. Meanwhile, Miami's defense is very stout. I think this number is easily going to go under, so that's what we'll do. Let's take under 47.5. Okay, here are my straight-up picks. I'm going to let them scroll along the side as I talk about who you might take in a suicide pool if you're still alive. How many of you took the Vikings last week? You didn't listen to what I said. Here's what I said last week. If you're in a kind of pool that doesn't allow you to take the same team twice, you might want to consider taking Minnesota against Cleveland. Never take Minnesota in a suicide pool. I want you to go to my website, gioknows.com. Scroll down, and on the left-hand side, you'll see suicide picks. What my program is doing is giving you the best picks to take in a suicide pool. Last week, for example, it picked New England, Seattle, Chicago, and Denver to win. They all did. Notice it didn't pick San Francisco, and they lost. It also didn't pick the Minnesota Vikings. That's a different story. This week, the program is picking 4 games. Now, three of them are actually road games. Baltimore is favored over Buffalo. I like the pick, although Baltimore still has a habit of playing down to their level of competition. I still like them to win. Indianapolis is at Jacksonville. Not only is this a road game, but this is a divisional game, but it is Jacksonville. Cincinnati's at Cleveland, same idea, a road game where the road team is the favorite in the divisional game. But I think Cleveland threw it all out against my gullible Minnesota Vikings with fake punts and fake field goals for touchdowns. That's not going to happen against Cincinnati. And then Philadelphia's at Denver. Denver's obviously, I think, is going to be the #1 pick for people. But you know what? I mentioned that Denver is coming off the short week. Philadelphia's coming on the long week. I smell an upset here. So you know what? My suicide pick for this week is going to be Indianapolis over Jacksonville. Okay, so those are my picks for this week. Good luck to you. If you notice, the shirt I'm wearing has the logo from my old company, footballbook.pro. Obviously, we're now gioknows.com, and I'm having some of these made up, brand new gioknows.com gear, which I'm going to be having some contests for you to win some of these shirts. Look for that very soon. Okay, for the gioknows.com channel and YouTube channel and website, I am Gio. Let's take the man's money.